Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda, people are commenting on last week with Keith and the Girl.
Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Last week on Keith and the Girl with Karen from The Black Guy Who Tips, she got right into the meat of what everyone's talking about of the shows that we did last week, which was the Julia episode. And it got as heated as was, but not surprisingly heated, right?
A Bad Critic says it's pretty fucked up that Keith and the Girl is leveraging Keith's fuck up, meaning the interview with Julia, to get more VIP memberships. He should apologize on the show. It's just basic courtesy.
I get it. I get why everyone's upset. I get that you asked a question that you don't normally ask. And I also get why people want me to apologize or live in some apology, but I don't know. I'm not doing it.
So I wrote back, spoiler, I doubled down. He wrote back, "K, bye."
Well, and now you don't have to get VIP, spoiler.
Right. Like it's a real discussion. Well, I missed that guy already, you know. Just buy and watch your doc. You love it so much. You'll have all your answers. I guarantee it. Steve in the CFO rates, I left my VIP membership lapse due to loss of job. I heard Friday's tease about Julia Gate and had to re-up my membership. Money well spent. Who needs both electricity and water anyways? I would have recommended sending the episode to her PR people to advise what happened up until Keith dropped the C word. I laughed out loud, but some things are best kept behind a paywall. We wouldn't want anyone clutching their pearls and fake acting like they were offended. Thanks, Karen. Karen, of course, hosting that time. Thanks, Karen, for not bearing the lead on this topic and going straight to the main event. Great episode all around. So, of course, last week on Keith and the Girl is in your VIP package.
Well, I think you should apologize to this person who you just read their email because they don't have electricity because of your ass. What kind of negotiation are we doing here on the show? We are convincing people to go over the cliff and into the ditch with us in the car. Folks, we're now together forever. Thank you.
What's a free trial if people would like that? How do they check out VIP?
If you go to keithandthegirl.com/VIP, and before you check out, you could put in code free trial, one word, free trial, and you get a couple weeks, a month for free. I don't remember, but there's a free trial period, and you won't get charged until it's done.
There you go. So save up your water as you're listening for free, right? Bottle it up. Adam sent me this big news. There's a change.org. It's called Sign the Petition. Somebody starts a petition there. Could be about anything. And if you get about 7,500 signatures, it's understood that the person told that they have to do something, make something better, apologize for something, whatever it is, make a new law, that they'll at least acknowledge that 7,500 people bothered to put their legit name into a computer. This new one I saw says, sign the petition. We want Jeff Bezos to buy and eat the Mona Lisa. We're approaching 7,500 signatures.
I'm sorry.
Jeff Bezos.
Buy and eat it?
He has to buy it, which he can probably.
Okay.
He has to eat it.
He has to eat it. Okay.
Yes. So his ex, who's being praised for donating $8 billion now to charity, he's got to deal with that and now forced to eat a piece of art.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
I think it's the right thing to do. I think we're going into the kind of social norm where you got to do it.
You have to do it. You think he's going to pull a Polanski and get in his rocket ship after all? Start pissing in his bag like his employees? Oh, well. Today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. All right.
Did we? No, just ladies and gentlemen.
Did I say ladies and gentlemen already? Did I really do it?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Such a good one. What words do I say as I go from one page to the next? I don't know what to do. All right, people, non-people.
No.
What?
No.
All right.
No.
Hey, you.
There's gonna be a petition, Keith. Please, you're gonna have to eat something weirder than the Mona Lisa.
All right. Well, hello, folks.
There you go.
And to all yous, here's today's guests. First off, from all around America, multiple military tours, Troops, you're welcome. Panelist on Red Eye, 2 albums featured on Sirius XM, and my personal trainer, Kyle Ocasio.
Hey, everyone.
Hello, Kyle.
Hello.
I say welcome, everyone. I think, can you just say, hey, everyone?
What do you say? Do you find yourself saying stuff when you do stand-up?
I never really was a ladies and gentlemen type of person. But I don't even know if I say hi to them. I just start complaining the second I hit the stage. Whoever's out there, whoever will listen.
She has no problem.
Dick, no dick.
You have no problem
5 dicks.
going after an audience member, like not paying attention or talking. You'll really...
Yeah, I'm better. I try not to turn on the audience because that's not really professional unless they're out of this world obnoxious to the point where, then security would come in. But I have gone after people. Yeah.
Have you? I really don't know the answer to this. Have you ever almost got into a fight doing stand-up?
Not a fight, but there was some girl when I was only a couple years in, and her laugh, she sounded like a hyena. And I said, I'd rather get dragged naked across glass than listen to you laugh.
Oh my God.
But it was very disruptive. I think comics would be on my side. It was pretty bad.
Was there a petition? Was there glass at the end of all
I got
this?
7,500 people that wrote me, and then I had to change my ways.
I had to say I've had the laugh that was distracting to the comedian Xerxes as well. And then I remember this guy, we've mentioned him on the show before, Eric Kirchberger. I don't know if you guys have met or known him. He has been, I think, uninvited to his friend's taping because of his laugh. It's very cringeworthy and it's very sincere, and it sounds exactly like this. And you guys, I'm getting some nods about people who know what this sounds like. So
Oh,
that's bad. It is. I mean, you think a Muppet is in your audience, and that Muppet is like best friends with, that insult dog comic, because it's worse than a heckler, because it's somebody.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right. They're sincerely laughing, and it's just
They're like, I really like you. Cause like, fuck you.
Right.
But how good am I? Speaking of training, how good am I at the gym? Tell him.
He's getting better. He shows up. He doesn't cancel. he doesn't make excuses. We've been
5 stars. It sounds like
we've been lifting heavier. So I've been giving him. What I just called him.
I don't mind.
I've
It
been
doesn't
giving
bother
this
me. And I
little
want
angel.
and I want everybody to know it doesn't bother me. Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
It
is sarcastic.
doesn't?
Wow. This is a sarcastic.
Oh.
Wow. But it doesn't. Bother
No,
me.
he's doing great. He's lifting. We're doing 5 reps of incredibly heavy weight.
So heavy.
and-
Probably. I don't even know if there's no. I think we're into the letters now. We're not even into numbers when it comes to pounds. We're doing very good. I'll be working out, and she goes, "How's that feel? Like, how's it feel? Does she go to a different? It feels like ice cream, baby. How does it feel? Feels not nice.
Ice cream's not a feeling. She's
The
trying
one
to
time
get you to learn the 4th one.
Oh, so I thought it was ice cream.
I said to him, I'm like, come on, like, don't you want this? And he goes, no, this is for you.
You want it. You know what?
That's the thing. Even like mid push-up, you can't trick Keith into like thinking good about it. He's like, doesn't that feel good? And he goes, it will never feel good, but I am doing it, and you should feel good about it.
He does it, yeah.
A roller coaster feels good. But what's it? Here's the thing. You find these athletic, attractive people, you're into them. You don't know that means you got to do it too.
But don't you feel better the last year or two? Don't you feel so much better? Your own brother said that you looked really good. He said your arms looked good.
So
you're welcome.
He's getting dementia too. But thank you.
He's like 12, but yeah.
Cal goes, what are your goals? 30% frumpy, but 70% real fit. What are my goals? It's everybody's goal.
I asked him his goals the first time we worked out. He goes, to be more fat and more tired.
I want to be able to do a marathon, but I want love handles. What do I want?
Kyle, do you try to get him to sign up to any of the running things, biking things?
Oh, he'll never do. He has no cartilage. He won't do that.
Oh, she goes to. Yeah, thank you. You're not wrong, Karen's dog. No. Do you turn that mic back on? Absolutely. This is out of line.
No, he was joking.
I'm joking. You can turn it off. And during that time, shoot your dog. So I'm at the gym. You know, Sergio Chacon. We heard about
Yeah.
him through Kyle was on the show. Fantastic. He's a boxer, like he talked about. So in front of him, she goes, "Hey, you should do some classes with Sergio box." I'm like, you see the appeal with you, baby? I get a discount. I get a pretty big discount. Yeah, but Sergio, real quick, like that's not the. Oh, I'll check my schedule. No, I run his schedule. He's free. Kyle. All right, let's get over here, ladies and gentlemen. Co-host.
No, you said it again.
God damn it! I wasn't even being funny.
Old habits die hard. Let's not get too mad at him. Old habits die hard.
Holy
We've
cow.
all been saying this for a long time. It might take a minute.
It's just
Totally.
weird. It's just weird that I can't do it.
It's weird that he's blocking out and coming to where people going, Keith, you just said it again. You
What?
just said ladies and
I'm gonna
gentlemen."
say it. Like well, I heard you talking in your sleep. What did you say, ladies and gentlemen?
You know what
That's a sex talk.
the thing is we have to be in the understanding that he never meant it. He never meant it. He's
Yeah.
blacking out just to start a sentence. So he never thought of any of you as ladies or gentlemen.
No, you're all just people. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Now we know you're fucking fake bullshit. And
Yeah.
now you have to be awake for the beginning.
They go, hey, what was the percentage of women at your show? Like, I don't know, really, because you said, ladies and gentlemen. Seemed like you were looking around and taking it in.
Also, I have seen your audience. They're ladies and gentlemen, plural. There's like not that many ladies and gentlemen. There's a couple dudes, you know. There's
Dudes,
there's some
and chicks.
bad bitches, and I mean that in a good way.
Right.
But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. One time at one of our events, there was a dude blowing another dude on stage during karaoke. So I
Oh,
don't know,
nice.
ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Oh.
Hello, fine folks with your top hats and pearls. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Who
So now,
wants to blow somebody?
a gentleman, would you like to get on your knees or would you like to unzip?
All right. Well, this is Kyle's
One
co-host.
time I stuck one of the straws from the sippy cup we were selling for the What's My Name show. I had people stick it in their butts,
Yeah.
like just to start the
Right.
show. I don't.
Mhm.
It was two gentlemen.
Right. And to think Kyle doesn't share dairy. The co-host of the new podcast, Shut Up Mommy's Talking, a fellow mother, Karen Bergering.
Hey, sorry
Hey.
about the dog.
I didn't even notice. Karen, of course, has been on Comedy Central, the Oxygen Network, VH1, Court TV, The View. You can check out her books, Following Polly and Perfect is
And they're
Overrated.
fantastic, I have to say.
And she says they're fantastic. Married with 2 kids. Kyle has 3. Whose kids are more trouble? Karen.
You know, I think Kyle is more open about the trouble that her kids are, but my kids pose some trouble. I would say, wouldn't you say that's what it is about Kyle? She's just more, she divulges more because my kids would kill me.
Oh,
if
mine
I
would too,
said,
but
said anything.
as long as I'm paying for their phone, I can say whatever I want.
Kyle's like, mine are killing me, so they can't kill me more after I say these words that are killing me.
Do you notice this as mothers, or do I just notice this because I'm on the outside? When one of the kids, Kyle's kids, would really royally fuck up, it amazes me how soon after they ask for a favor.
Oh,
You notice this with your kids, and does it shock you? Like you should be
yeah, every
dead.
time. Literally, it will be like something egregious, like showing up like 3 hours late or not calling. And then you have the yell. You kind of work it. You know what it is? You yell at them. They kind of say, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And then maybe 2 hours pass. You know, can I have some money?
Yeah.
It's
See, the
always
thing is-
money.
But the thing is that they don't think they're asking you for a favor. You're the money tree.
Right.
You are the money tree. You're the
Right.
one who wiped their butt when that's what they needed. Now that they need money, you're the money thing. There's no favor. I don't know. Like Keith, your dad made you feel like dinner was a favor. You're welcome, son. You know, like
Right.
water was a favor. Literally, water was a favor. They would had the pipes were frozen and you couldn't use any water. You all had to share a bath, which is the most disgusting thing on earth, and it's wrong. But because your parents were doing you a favor parenting you.
I actually wish I had taken that tact as a parent. I feel like everything would be a lot better. The whole pandemic would have been easy peasy.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever feel like it's too late, but you gave too much love to the kids? And now you're stuck like you're a person?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the answer is too much love.
Right. I try not to tell Kyle that because what we're going to do, get a time machine. But yeah, they go from best mom in the universe to worst mom fucking ever. Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when they go, you're the worst mom ever. Do you feel like grabbing one of those stupid plaques that they stole from CVS and being like, no, you said I'm the best mom in the universe. Now we go from there. Or is this bullshit? And just cut it up in front of them. Cut up every card that said you're the best mom. Right.
I never got the you're the best mom. I never got that. Because I've been so like, oh, you don't need to do Mother's Day. You don't need to do this. I'm
And
like,
I get
just write me a card. And it's literally like a pencil and a crayon.
I know. And they're like teenagers. Well, Karen and I bond over, and we've said this on our show. We realized that our kids call us the same word. We're both toxic.
Oh, the parents are toxic. No, I said come home from school.
Right.
Kyle, Keith talks about like anyone who kind of was brought up outside of him, or maybe when people listen to their kids or when their kid even like stands up to them. It's weird. It's weird in my upbringing also. How well do you think Keith would do if you left him with 2 to 3, and you can pick, of your kids for like a month or so?
I think from Keith's perspective, I think Amish kids have too much in his eyes, so
That is a good way to frame it, really.
I saw that I served them at an Eaton Park at like a country restaurant, and they each had their own sodas and everything. So they were living pretty good.
Do you ever find yourself disciplining them, Keith? Do you ever find yourself like when they ask for something before Kyle can say yes or no, you say, haven't you had enough?
I had like that, something like that. I'll say guys, or come on, or, smack somebody lightly, like on the back, like, what are you doing? That, while they're yelling at another sibling. I don't know how far to go yet. There's, I saw somebody with a hickey and I go, that's stupid. So that's my parenting.
I love it that go, I saw somebody with a hickey. Okay, let's all try to figure out who the somebody was.
Well, it was the daughter. Then the younger son got jealous of the daughter and came back with 2 hickeys, meaning immediately you said, dumb. Give me one here, give me another one.
It was requested. I found out.
It was a requested hickey, obviously, or he fought a vacuum cleaner.
And also the whole action of a hickey is not even pleasure. I mean, ask Xerxes to come suck on your neck. It's annoying. It's hot. It's extra body weight. It's like, get off me.
I told Kyle, though, I say we show up with hickeys.
They would die.
Play.
That's so fucked.
Hey, look, we're all turning into zombies.
Oh my God. But I do love that Keith's response is, that's stupid. Like the male adult in his life at that moment is calling that stupid, but it's so sincere.
I felt it's important because he's obvious. He's like,
everything you say is important.
I'm in the kitchen. He's like whistling like a song for my attention. Like, got a hickey. What are you gonna do? I definitely have a hickey. And I'm not paying attention. I already knew it. And then he like shows me, look, hickeys. I go, that's so stupid. So
I love it that he's bragging about a hickey. Like when, I can't remember. I can't really remember a hickey, but I seem to recall a turtleneck or a scarf or something because it's like there's shame. But I guess when your
parents to know,
or anybody.
Oh, not now. No, they're showing it. They put neon lights around their neck. Yeah.
Right.
Well, so first of all, how does the kid respond?
I have no idea. I don't stick around. So, but I can only assume this man in your life that you do look up to just said something stupid. That'll register next time you get a hickey. That's the best I can do.
All right, and back to Kyle. How do you think he'll do?
Keith, if he had to stay with the kids alone, he would probably walk out or something. I don't know.
I have my own house.
Yeah.
I think I would do good.
Let's ask Keith.
If you don't come home, right, I'm standing right here.
Yeah. No, I know that you'll be honest and tell us your downfalls as well.
I'd say if you're not back by 3 a.m., I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to bed. So try not to die. And of course, I'm going to see them the next day. Like, she's nervous. They're not going to come home. They always come home. They only run away when it's nice out. I'm like, yeah, they're laying in the park, still upset, but they're okay. It's never during the winter months.
Pretty laid back mom for the most part. But if I call and I don't hear from them, I said something to, like, I think my daughter's phone had shut off and she didn't have a charger. And I couldn't get in touch with her for like over an hour. And I'm like, oh my God, like she's a teenage girl. Like, what? And Keith goes, no one kidnapped her. No one wants her.
Right. No, I've dealt with these.
Oh my God, Keith, you're so not a parent. It's just like your instincts, because the instincts are not to worry with you.
Right.
And parents, even Kyle, who I do have to say is really like, you're really good, because I'm a worry wart. You always worry.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. And this is what you should learn from somebody on the outside, because it's been over 3 years now of stating they always come back.
Right.
But sometimes
Always.
who knows what they're doing before they
Until
come
they
back.
don't, Keith. Until they don't.
Fingers fucking crossed, Karen. I don't know your story, but you tell me what happened. You know. Here's a story related. An armed hijacker who stole a school bus in South Carolina got so annoyed by endless questions from kindergartners that he pulled over and let them off.
That's
Wait,
so
what?
awesome. Is that true?
Jovan Calazo, 23, ordered the kids to the front to, quote, keep them in close proximity after climbing aboard, according to the driver of the bus. That's when the 5-year-old just kept asking questions. Are you a soldier? Why are you doing this? What's going on? He's like, enough. And he just left because they were too annoying. Well, who knows what he was going to do with the bus?
Oh my God.
The incessant questioning is my younger son is like obsessed with, oh, how tall are you? How tall were you when you were my age? Do you like this building? Do you like that? And it's like, it never stops. And
Right.
They know the answer, by the way. They go, how tall do you think the Statue of Liberty is? I'm like, I don't know. Well, 1,600,000. Just say it.
And they think you're dumb if you don't know, because their idea of what is smart is like numbers.
Isn't it funny though? How old are your kids, Karen?
15 and 17.
And how old are yours, Kyle? For the audience, not for me to write it down for the first time.
18, 16, and 13.
15, 16, and 13. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
my
Lord.
goodness.
Holy
Yeah,
A
fuck.
lot of hormones.
A lot.
Wait, what was Karen's ages?
15 and
15 and
17.
15 and 7.
I love it that you're writing it down. I
Yeah,
feel like he's about to do math.
Right?
this is long division. Is the 17-year-old acting like, hey, I'm all independent? And it's like, well, obviously you're not.
Well, let me
You
just
would be.
let me just give you the exact thing. So my son is going to be a counselor at his sleepaway camp this summer. I just took him yesterday on a
Speaking of
train.
hickeys.
I know. I took him on a train to the suburbs where somebody picked him up in a car and drove him to the camp. The second they drove off, I burst into tears and I'm like, how am I going to do
Aw.
this? I do it every summer, but I guess because we've been in captivity for so long, it just seemed horrible. And I was crying and crying. 2 hours later, the phone rings. It's him. He left his medication at home.
Oh, shit.
And it's something he needs to take. And I had to FedEx it, and I completely got over everything. I mean, it just described, it answers your question. He thinks he's independent. I mean, he didn't look back like when I let him go, but then ultimately, like he can't get it together.
They can't function.
So,
Yeah. My
yeah.
18-year-old moved to Florida. It's like 6 months ago. And he was all like, everything's good. I'm working. I'm going to register for school, this and that. And then he needed his ID and he realized he left his passport at home. So I ended up, I was going to go see him anyway, but it's like, this is really important. This is part of being an adult. Like no one is going to keep track of your shit for you. You have to bring it. So yeah, that's pretty normal.
I'm on my own, Mom. Fuck you. And then it was a day later. He's in Florida. Hey, can you wire me $15 for a smoothie?
Right. Does your Seamless work in Florida?
And then she's supposed to still make his appointments. Like he's really, I guess that's the big year, right? 18. Yeah, at least for me
18
it
is
was.
young though for this
It's young. Yeah.
this generation. Like, I mean, Keith, it sounds like you were brought up like, in a military environment, but I think like our generation and I'm older than you, but our generation, 18, you're like doing everything on your own. 18
Yeah.
for this is still my baby.
They're not very
18.
resilient. I mean, my kids included, they're just not. I mean, I was the latchkey kid. I'm Gen X, and like I did pretty much everything. I used to, when I was 11 years old, I would get on the bus and go downtown to take my
Totally.
dance class by myself.
So
You
what
know?
made you be able to do that and they can't?
I think
We didn't get enough love, and this is the problem. It's the parents to blame, and you're loving too much.
no, I mean,
And I think it's the world. I think it's the world.
It's also the world, and it's also that everything's easier for them. They have a computer in their pocket now. You know, remember we have to do that bullshit, go to the card catalog at the library. It would take me hours to find an answer to one question where they can do. So everything is so easy.
I wanted to do a simple math problem. I had to go to the train station, look at the schedules, A, B, C.
But they're just not, maybe it's just the way of the world, but it's just, and Karen and I've talked about this on our podcast a lot with other moms of, you know, kids that are pretty much all ages, that they say, yeah, like they're just kind of a softer.
But what about the
Well,
fact?
parenting, Henda, also parenting is a thing. It wasn't a thing when we were kids. It was like, nobody said, how's your parenting? You just said, nobody's asked you. It's a verb now. Like, there's magazines devoted to it, and articles and TV shows and good for the family and this.
There's
And
web. Remember Andy was talking about how he was watching like some series about better parenting. My mom she didn't give a shit. She didn't read about this stuff. You just
But what about the fact that every generation, I mean, this isn't very new. Every generation says the next generation is softer. They have it a lot easier. And it's because we are providing them with this ease so that they can focus on the stuff that we've learned is more important. My father, as strict as he was, his father was way stricter. So what he sees is a very lax attitude towards his children. What I see is a domineering, explosive personality. But his father was 100 times more. So I had to at some point give them credit for like taking it down 1,000. It's just that they were on 10,000. So
right. I think that every generation tries to do a little bit better.
Yeah. So,
but we're doing worse.
But that better, does it make your kids softer? And are we using softer in a negative way?
It might not. I mean, I think that's a really good question. I do think in some ways.
Next, I'm asking about your genitalia, but stay on this good question.
These kids have I think they have a really bad. I actually think they don't know how to be bored at all. Everything is, the world has made it hard for them. Forget about us. The world has made it hard. I think that the pandemic has shown that the world has made it hard for them to kind of just exist. Like they need constant monitoring. Like we didn't need that, but I think it's because technology plays such an important
So what do you do about that? Because it is important. If, the parents that are like, I don't give my kids the devices at all, those kids are behind technologically, and you can't live like that out in the world. So what do? You're combating boredom.
They'll catch up. I think it's important. If I could go back in time, I would have waited to get my kids cell phones. My kids didn't get them until middle school. Most kids get them earlier now.
Wow.
And I know that that's the way of the world, and I'm not saying shut them out and don't give them anything, but the one mistake is I would have monitored it more. I still have my younger one turn his phone in at night, but it's, and I was talking to his doctor about this, and the doctor was like, oh, I hear this all the time. They act as though they're withdrawing from heroin. I mean, because there's a dopamine hit every time you look at your phone. And so even for us, it's a scientifically proven thing and then you start to rely on that. And then the kids constantly need, attention from Snapchat and whatever dumb stuff. And if you go on and look at it's all stupid. No one's posting anything that's like, wow, this is revolutionary.
Except for us. Follow us on @Keith and the Girl.
And please listen to our podcast.
Yes.
But it's hard.
Get
for
your
adults.
Dopamine from us and us
From
only.
us. But yeah, it's hard. And I do think it's a tough problem. And how do you combat it
yourself? Do you take the phone away at night from
the younger one? My older two, it's like it's two, they're 16 and 18. It's, I once got into a literal wrestling match with my daughter like a year ago. And I was like, I pay for this. And then I'm like, this is insane. I either have to surrender that this is the way of the world now, which I did because I didn't, I didn't want to have to
turn off your
kick
phone?
anybody's ass.
Does anyone turn off their phone at night?
I don't. I'm not a good model. I leave my phone on and I watch TV before I go to sleep. I'm like the worst. And my kids have their phone. My older son is a little bit more self-motivated. So he'll turn it off. He'll actually turn the phone off because it's it's an annoying to him. But the little one, it's like nothing is ever enough. And I do feel like I don't know if taking it away, because like there was a mom who was kind of perfect in our kids class that like never let the kids, do those things. And guess what? The kids made friends that had the basis of the friendship was who has the most electronics. And he would go over to everybody's house. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so pervasive that I don't know how much the parents can do at this point, but I do agree. Like I'm a bad influence. So I have tried I
like that you called yourself a bad influence. I just asked you if you turned your phone off at night.
No, but at least your brain is fully developed. And I think that's the thing. And that's what I was, with kids, it's like, even I always talk to them about weed. They're like, oh, you think weed should be legal? Yeah, I think it should be just like alcohol's legal. Doesn't mean I think that you should drink it or someone whose brain is still developing.
Right.
Like it fucks up your whole system and what your reward system, and you constantly are going to seek it outside instead of, when I was a kid, I would, I was really into dance. So when I would have a good class, I would feel euphoric after. I would feel horrific if I had a bad one, but it was like I created my dopamine hits,
Right.
I'm going to tell you guys the craziest thing I saw in their household. All right.
Oh,
and it's personal, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this.
Geez. Well, then,
was
okay,
it broccoli roll?
Ruh-roh.
Kyle said to the kid, do you need money to go to the store? And the kid said, no, thanks.
When?
Can you fucking imagine?
I don't even remember that.
I saw this happen. They said, no, thank you. Now,
this was a dream? This had to be a dream.
How is money just flying around? You can just say no to some. That's too much love.
My kids would never say that.
I don't
even think that. Did that? I don't believe that.
It happened more. It happened multiple times.
Well, then good. I'm doing good.
Do you need money for the store? No, I have mine from cat sitting.
Right.
What's going on in this millionaire household? What the fuck is that? I got so excited. Remember I said I got $600 from bonds the other day from that my dad gave to one of my siblings. My mom was sneaking on the side, cash and bonds. I just found out that I misread two $50 bills. They're really two $500 bills. I have 1,400. My head's exploded. Kyle goes, do you need money for the store? Yes, please. These have to accrue. Just shocking stuff to me. That's all. Have you, Karen or Kyle, hid money from your respective husbands?
Hidden?
Well, I don't know if to tell you. I don't have a husband.
Oh,
it's a good time to tell you.
I like the kinky shit.
When you say hidden money, what does that mean? No, my husband, the way that my husband is responsible and organized, and I'm sort of, artistic, I call it.
Oh, so he has money hidden.
Well, no, we just keep separate. We just keep everything separate. Right. He probably, honestly, he could have a whole account that I don't know about. And I'd be like, that's nice, dear. Like we keep everything separate for organizational purposes.
Do you ever sock money away that like he doesn't, even though it's separate, he doesn't know about what's in the drawer? Does that ever happen?
No, that's not our thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm saying, no, we're so open about every possible thing, but that happens not to be one of the things that's an issue.
Let's go down the line, find out what the issue is. Here we go.
Okay, Hamda.
Where is he on Friday night?
Right.
Have you, when you and this loser were together? what?
You're so buttons that you choose to push.
Not really. I remember my mom always used to tell me, she said, Every woman should have a separate bank account. That's all. And so I never really had very much money, but I always did have my own like stocked away. So
Like how much about?
I-
Like a healthy amount to run
I'm not,
away?
you're not in my will. So
Okay. All right. But like a healthy amount to run away, or just like, hey, I'm going to buy something he won't. know?
I no, just like in case, you know, you're supposed to have, most people, they say you're supposed to have 6 months of earnings saved. I really always had like 2. I never really got that far ahead. But yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, when we were married, we shared money, which was a mistake because he was very irresponsible. So if you're with a responsible person, I think it's fine.
No, I just mean about hiding money specifically. It's
I'm
interesting.
not hiding. I'm not a millionaire, in case you're wondering. There's nothing hidden in my sock drawer.
Yeah, I feel like
I feel like that's what he's trying to
question.
figure out. Like,
Totally. He's like, Karen, have you ever hidden money from your husband? I'm like, that's of
we're
all the
comics.
questions that you could ask me. I'm like, yeah, the $20 I made at the comic strip is like, it's hidden away in like the bottom drawer underneath everything.
We'll never find it.
Keith recently found out that his mom hid money away from his dad because his mom is in assisted living. So his father is going through the house, finding cash he didn't know about, finding bonds for the kids.
Supposedly
that
a
he
lot of
bought behind-
cash in the
behind his
bonds. In the
That's
bonds added up.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So the thing is now, so he brings this up and I say, yeah, my mother stashed some money as well. This seemed to be very common. And I think that Keith is trying to get somebody to admit that this is runaway money. Like, what
Yeah.
else is it? You know, is it enough to leave you at a drop of anything? But I don't think so. I think it's just,
Psychological.
yeah, it's like now we just heard from Karen and Kyle, and they were like, well, we have our own bank account, this kind of stuff. My mother, I don't know if she ever had her own bank account. Like I had one when I was 14, but I don't think a generation up had their own money. They
Totally.
went from their father's house, not their parents' house, their father's house to their husband's house. This is the kind of language that was normally used. So having a stash is just, also, you know, there was no Venmo, there was no quick cash or whatever it is. So you had to have a 20 over here when the person comes to deliver. You have to have like a 10 if you're tipping someone or whatever. So it's just kind of like, I feel better having stash. And I think my father knew about it, even though my mother's like, and I think my mother kind of knew.
Did your mom work? Did your mom work?
No.
See, that's the thing. I think if you don't work,
Right.
like every dime that is given to you, like is by your husband, right? Unless you have some
Yes.
family money. And there's something so humiliating about having to ask every time. And it must give you a little bit of a sense of control to be able to just say, like,
That's a good point.
just in case I have a
Right.
couple of hundred saved up, and just, you know, because let's say
You're
you want to
right,
go out to
because-
dinner with the girls, like, and then
that's-
you're like,
that's
can
not
I?
a thing.
Oh,
That's not-
okay.
You don't go
Okay.
out to dinner with girls. I don't
Okay.
know. Are you
Okay.
a whore?
Or what-
Are you a whore?
I, in fact, am.
No, okay. Okay, this makes sense. Thank you.
Well, let's remember, of course, it's the 60s when women were finally able to.
He just Googled this, by the way. He didn't know this off the top of
Let's
his head.
remember, of course,
Uh,
that is in the 60s, women couldn't have a bank account.
right.
Thanks to who did they get the bank account?
Thanks to Google, baby. You don't
No,
gotta-
thanks to
Uh-huh.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg argued more about the credit cards. Everybody knows that, you know.
And remember, women used to sign their checks like Mrs. Keith Malloy.
Yeah, yeah, and some of those I can't cash. Yes, the answer is
Yeah,
yes.
so I think Karen had a good point. Like, you know, yes, you're relying on your husband and he will give it to you, you know, because he wants you to get the groceries. But what if you have a day where you don't feel like asking? You feel like it's yours. I'm using my money.
Then you
You
kill
never
him. That's
had
what
money.
they did back then.
You're right. Yeah, because back then they didn't have so many cameras and evidence.
We asked the audience, does one of your parents hide money from the other? 30% said yes.
Wow.
Did that. So yeah, sure. Of course, it's a
I
general-
love that they know, right? I mean, it must be more than that.
Right. It can't be
Right,
less.
Right. You are hiding it.
Yeah.
How many of you guys know that your parents are bank robbers? No? Who are the good
Right.
ones?
I was reading a story about an antiques hunter returned a 71-year-old high school yearbook and diploma to the rightful owner. So this somebody uncovered in 1950s yearbook diploma from Roosevelt High School in Honolulu, belonging to June Lynn Graff, amid a stash of other stuff. With the help of social media, they learned that June, I don't know who all these names are. Anyway, June Cummings, 89, is alive and well in a senior living center, and she received this yearbook. Now I just saw my.
And she's like, "Who the fuck are these people?
Are they coming over? Oh, my yearbook from high school.
Right.
Prom?
Right. She's like, "Oh, my yearbook. Will you sign it?"
Do you even give a shit at that point? It's
Yeah. Does somebody think they're a hero for doing this?
I know. I would have kept the yearbook and looked up every single person. I think that
Oh my
sounds
gosh.
fun. I'm
I
so
say-
nosy.
It doesn't
I
even
say
have to
sell
be. If that was your high school, it doesn't even have to be your high school.
Doesn't even, it's amazing the level of nosiness that I have. Like I will sometimes like accidentally hit upon some weird post on Facebook and then I'll like go down a rabbit hole of somebody's family and it's not even
Don't you feel
interesting to
creepy?
anybody.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I one time clicked on somebody that was like in the news for something. I click on their page and then it's like, oh, pictures of the daughter, then the daughter's face. And I'm like, I'm looking at someone's kid's face. Like, this is creepy. I got to stop this. But that's what that rabbit hole does. You just
Totally.
turn
And
it
the thing
down.
is, you're like, oh, where do they go on vacation? It's not even interesting.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
going to tell your kids to take away your phone for an hour a day.
they
Right.
should.
See how you feel. Watch mommy get the jitters.
I would love it. You know, I left my phone. I constantly forget my phone, as important as it is. I've left it here. I've left it. And the one time that I think I had left it at home, I was already going to work. I was free. I felt like I could just focus on what I was doing in the moment. I wasn't constantly checking. Oh, did somebody,
Right.
did somebody
Don't tell your
die?
kids that. They won't respond in
Yeah.
an hour. Well, I was feeling free, mom.
My kids don't. That's the thing. My kids don't respond to me immediately, but they respond to everybody else. That's the hard thing.
Why don't you say something cool? They'll respond.
Again, that's not going to work. There is literally nothing I can say. Listen. So here's my cool mom story. So do you remember the app? I don't even know if it still exists. House Party. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
It's kind of like it was like almost like Zoom.
Okay.
And it was like a big app for kids where you would have the squares like Zoom and the kids would all sit on it. Did your kids get into it, Kyle?
I think that's where I had heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a FaceTime where you can have multiple people. It's basically Zoom. And these kids would do it. And the big time to do it is like when you're like 11 or 12. And my son would stay up really late on this thing. And he thought it was so cool. Anyway, one time in the morning, I got up and one time it was like 2:00 in the morning and I hear these girls' voices coming out of his bedroom.
He doesn't even see this is the
And
problem. They need to learn to use headphones.
Right. He's sound asleep. Right. And these girls are just talking to each other. Right. So I just turned the thing off. Anyway, in fact, I was really good. Like I didn't even put my face in or anything.
Mhm.
And the next morning I said, hey, I met some of your friends last night.
Oh my God.
And he was
would
like, what do
die.
you mean? And I said, well, you had fallen asleep during house party. And I just said, I said the names of the girls. And I said, I just met, Susie and Alice or whatever their names were. Definitely not those two names. And because that's like
1940.
names from 1957. But and he said, what'd you say? And I said, well, I told them, I said, don't worry. I said, don't worry. I didn't embarrass you. I told them I was really happy that you had some female friends
Ugh.
and that don't worry, I'm one of the cool moms.
Ugh.
And
Did he barf right on you or did he
he
turn-
was so mad. And then I was like, I didn't do any of that. Like, it was just, he didn't even appreciate how funny that was. Like, it was my
Oh,
favorite
no.
moment.
Okay.
I think whatever you do as a mom, they don't think it's cool. Like my kids, my daughter's friend was staying over one night when I was running out to do a show, and the friend was like, "Oh, that's so cool! Like, I'd love to see you." And I'm like, "Well, if you guys want to come with me, like, I can." And my daughter's like, "No," but the friend thought it would be fun. So anything you do is
Yeah.
not cool.
Ever.
Kids like to be goth without the clothes now. And if you show any emotion, you're a dork.
Yeah.
That's the
But
thing.
wasn't that always the case? Drop me off a block from the house.
Right.
Like, Mom, quiet. You're being a dork. Don't embarrass me. Did we all not watch Roseanne?
Oh God, did anybody get when they would stay with their father on the weekends if they had a divorced family? This was my experience. My dad would pack my lunch. It would be a good lunch. Like it'd be like Twinkies and whatever shit he got at 7-Eleven when he was pumping gas. And that would be my lunch. But he would put it in a giant paper bag. So most kids had like a lunch box. I would come in with a fucking grocery bag bigger than me. It was just mortifying.
Kyle came in with the, hi, I'm from a broken family bag.
Right.
Yes.
But the thing is, like when you pulled out the Twinkies, didn't that kind of
then
like
I became,
yeah?
I had a small
I would have died
face.
if my parents gave me a Twinkie.
See, but those were the words that we used to use, broken family. But then like
now
when
everyone's
people,
got one. A broken
right, yeah.
family.
It's actually a fixed family because they should not be together.
That's too bad. You
Right.
had to have that giant bag. I don't want to brag, but I went to school with my dad's old suitcase. So, hey, one up to you, folks. One up to you.
That is so disgusting.
Would you look through your kids' phones, Karen?
I have done that.
And with your personality, how you say you want to look up people in a yearbook wasn't even your yearbook or high school. Are you able to calm down and not do a follow-up?
Mm.
Same thing with you, Kyle. Kyle can snap sometimes. Let me look through the phone. Who's this bitch? Are these tits? Do I call the parent now? Are you able to, do you almost regret reading these, their diaries? Do you regret reading these, or are you able to calm down?
I did it. I did it. Both of my kids are less. I'm not worried about the whole like sexual stuff with them.
Okay.
My kid was in a friendship with a kid who was unkind to him. So it was one of those things like, what do I do with this information? I know that this kid is not nice to my kid, and but it's humiliating for my kid to say something like your friend isn't nice to you. And then do I let it, like, it's one of those things like, do you let it just sort of play out because there is like something to learning that as a kid? Or is it really like sometimes you do need to step in if there's something really unhealthy going on?
What'd you choose?
I did the wrong thing. I was hysterical and was like, you can't be friends with this guy. And the thing is, that's exactly the wrong thing to do. Like, I occasionally tend to the hysterics. It's something I'm not proud of, but it's like your emotions take over. Like, in some ways it's easier if you don't care, because then you could be like, here are the rules. The rules are this. But if you're like, it's like you can see somebody going the wrong way on the street, like you want to step in. What's the best way to do it? And some people are really dispassionate about it and can handle it. And then there are people who are less than.
It's very tough because you're supposed to be like training them to do all that stuff and figure that stuff on their own. But that means they might have to hit a bottom that you don't get to have control over.
But if it's something really egregious,
Yeah.
I did a hysteria snap.
Is that what we're calling it? Cute.
A hysteria snap. Yeah. I actually.
I'm sorry. 1 second. A couple years ago.
Shut up. I saw that my son was texting because he was constantly saying, "Oh, I have to run out and get an Xbox gift card," and I'd be like, "Okay, but I just got you one. What do you?" And then I just because something was up, and so I looked through some chat, and there was like a kid that he befriended in another country, and it really was a kid because I heard audio because it wasn't like an adult posing it. So they had the kid was like, "Oh yeah, in my country it's really hard to get these things. Could you send?" So my son was going to CVS with his cat sitting money or my money and buying this kid these Xbox cards, which on one hand was really sweet and thoughtful, but then it was like, okay, now I have to explain to him about getting taken advantage of. Like, so I was just really upset. And Keith always tells me, like, take a deep breath before you text somebody back. Like, I didn't listen.
She can't even explain to me what's making her upset to do an action. She's already doing the action.
Well, that's how I roll, and it works for me. And so I write this
You're very
kid.
zen. Yeah, it works for you.
I write this kid, and I just said, "Hey, I think you're taking advantage of him. Please do not ask him to buy you Xbox gift cards anymore." I said, "You're welcome to chat with him, you're welcome. They did like an online game together. I said, but do not ask him to go buy you things. It's not appropriate. And then the kid was like, I'm sorry. And he was nice. I mean, he really was a kid, but it was like excessive. It was like, I'm talking every other day. Oh, can you it wasn't even, hi, how are you? It was like, can you get me another gift card? Can you get me?
I'm suspicious. I honestly don't think that was a kid. Like, I think it was some organization.
Well, maybe that's what I thought too. But like, I heard audio. I mean, maybe somebody put a kid on, but I heard audios of this like kid's voice saying,
Right.
So what did you talk to your kid about with that?
So he was really upset that I responded, oh, that's so embarrassing. And I said, you know what, maybe you're right. And I said, maybe I owe you an apology for stepping in. But as your mom, I'm also here to protect you. And that person was taking advantage of you.
Right.
And we kind of left it at that. It didn't turn into anything deeper, but it was just weird. I didn't like it.
But it's funny how now the kids know you do look through my phone, and the kids being kids
erase everything.
They're so selfish. They don't think it through. They're only thinking about themselves. They don't even, at least these kids aren't. Kyle luckily could still learn more. And it's like, well, she looks at it now, and you're still, it makes me think like, one of the kids will have a joint behind their ear, and it's like, what are you doing? If you just played it a little cooler, you could run a drug business out of your room. But you can't. You're so in the moment. It's just funny to me. Whether it's good that we can still see the phones, or bad that being lazy. It's just funny.
That's how people get caught cheating, isn't it? Like, I remember my ex. Everything, like, first it feels like it's in your head, and then you're like, well, if someone's robbing from me, I'm going to look for evidence. Look for evidence. You find it, and then like I confronted him, and then it stopped for a little while, and then, there were times I know that he was deleting it, and I only know in hindsight. And then by the end, it was like, wow, do you want me to catch you? Because you do not care anymore. You left it
right. Like there's some relief.
I guess. I think in this case, it was like, oh, you don't give a fuck. Like you almost want to watch me explode.
I do think with the kids thing, I do think like, because I think you make a good point, like about the falling to the bottom, just to go back to that earlier point, Hemina, like where you, it's the thing of like, when do we quote, like back to the parenting as a verb, like when do we parent? Like, do you step in? Like, what's the point of even having the kids at home with you if you're just going to let them not guide them in any way? And I do think you have to let kids like learn, like have experience disappointments and bad things and realize that they're bad people and you can't protect them from all bad things. But I do think if somebody is going astray for a while, I think you need to put them in the right direction.
Yeah.
Karen and Kyle, tell the other person how they could be a better mother.
Oh, Lord, this is worse than the 1 to 10 game.
No, I don't. Wait,
don't
can
ever
I just say,
Keith.
Yeah, and don't ever listen to me because do as I say, not as I do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so easy for me to be like, oh, you should do this, this, and this, and this. And then, I mean, if my kids were home right now, they'd be like laughing.
It's hard.
You finally got them to listen to a show.
Right.
How did
Kyle, what?
No, I just said it's hard. No matter what. I don't think being a parent is easy at all. So
I think if you want it to be, it's not stressing
Jesus
me out.
Christ.
What made you guys decide to do this, the podcast?
Well, we were in quarantine and I had never really thought about doing a podcast before because I saw how much work it is just watching you guys. Because I know, like, when I first met Keith, he'd say something like, oh, I can't, I'm working. And I'm like, don't you just record an hour a day, laugh, and that's it? And I didn't realize how much goes into a podcast. And I didn't think, I'd ever want to take that on. But then we were like, not, I wasn't performing much and I just needed a creative outlet. And I thought one of my other friends had said, hey, why don't you and Karen, since a lot of the stuff that you talk about, not everything, but a lot is about, kid stuff or, just the daily struggles. So we're both comics And I just thought, hey, this will be great. And we just had so much fun doing it. And we've had some great guests. We've had Jeannie Gaffigan. She was our first guest. We've had Judy Gold. We had Paulina Porskova, the supermodel.
Who's she dating?
Aaron Sorkin.
That's right.
We're BFFs. So we've just, we're kind of learning as we go. And I mean, we're learning a lot from you guys. So
what's the hardest part of working with Keith? Because he's helping you guys out, right?
Yeah, no, he's I appreciate he's not passive aggressive. He's not passive aggressive. Like maybe because he's not pulling any punches because I'm his girlfriend, but he'll tell me, no, this, you can't do that, or this doesn't sound right. If I have a bracelet on, he'll say, take it off. He's constantly yelling at us about sound. So it's good because I think that if I was
not yelling,
I literally see no flaw in Keith.
Thank you.
God, Karen.
Can somebody hang up on Karen, please?
It's not that I don't. It's not that I think Keith is flawless. I just don't see a flaw in him. Like to me, he's the guy who knows the things. I'm sure if I spent a day with you, I could find stuff. But I just like right now, I'm like, oh, he knows a lot. He's helpful. Like I see you only as like an agent of help. It's not me being a Pollyanna. It's literally me not knowing you.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'll tell you something else that I want to be clear about this so that you really don't see a flaw in me. I'm never late to the show. Okay. And when Kyle says, oh, Keith's running late, she's running late only.
I totally figured that out, by the way.
No shit. Because you know what she does? Listen to this, Kenda. She goes, she'll text her and the guest, whoever. It's a fucking free-for-all, by the way. Text everybody. Nothing professional or think about. Just text whatever the fuck
I'm a new podcaster. Leave me alone. I'm learning the ropes.
One time she told me the guest was running late.
Oh, my God.
And then the guest said something about, well, you guys had to start late.
Right.
And I was like, she doesn't want to admit that she was late.
Well, that's
I'm
crazy.
So bad at it.
You're so bad. You're a liar. I'm so bad at lying. It's my flaw being a liar.
No, but it is. You know what it is? It is. Kyle is late the way I'm late. She's late the way I'm late, which is
late.
Which is you're late and lie about it. So here's the thing.
It's that thing where she's overly optimistic about how long it takes her to get from A to B. And it's like she has to assume that the train is not going to run on time.
You're nodding your head like Karen is backing you up. Well,
yeah. It's true.
I really think because Kyle and I went away for a couple
You're not
of
doing
days.
favors. You're not doing favors, Karen, but go ahead.
Am I going to get in trouble?
No, you're just making your friend look worse. But explain.
She's not.
No, I'm not. I think she's over because the thing is, when it was
the word optimistic is a positive word, but not in this context.
No, you guys. Okay.
But I understand. I actually sort of get that way too. It's like my husband is kind of like that too. He's like, he'll be like, oh, we'll be home at blah, blah, blah. And then every time he's like, where did all this traffic come from? And I'm like, it came from like the
not
bridge
living on time. I know.
You know what I mean? It came from like people's garages because there's traffic in the world. Like it's like a surprise to people like Kyle and to people like my husband, who it's like a new day on earth every time they take transportation.
Never mind. Yeah, she lived in the.
It is not right. It's not necessarily like if everything was working as it should, she would be there on time.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
She's working on it. So here's my point. Here's what she does, Karen. She goes, oh, Keith is going to be late. He's catching up on something. But
I did that like one time.
God, ladies.
Zip it.
Oh, now we're ladies. Okay,
I feel like this is suddenly taking a turn.
Yes.
Okay.
No, sir. Please let me tip my hat to you and please continue as you were.
Yes, gentlemen.
Yes.
Go on.
She'll say that I'm the one who's late, and then which is fine. We're dating. Use me, but doesn't tell me. Then I'm like, hi, Karen, and Karen's like, hi, Keith. You're here apparently. Yeah. Why wouldn't I be? I don't know, weirdo. And then I gotta be like, I don't know anything.
I'll get better. At
what? Lying?
She's not going to get better. We should just schedule for 10 minutes. We should just schedule 10 minutes. I actually have figured it out, so I'm a little.
I know what it is. I've kind of been like this my whole life. I'm never like super like a half hour late. Always a 10-minute. When I do spots, I usually get there right that minute before, because I don't know if it's like I need that. I don't know if it's an adrenaline thing, because so much of comedy is waiting, right? You get a road gig, you drive 2 hours, you're stuck in traffic, then you wait for the host and the feature, then then there's a second, you're waiting. So the rest of my life, I'm always like, I'd like to just get there.
I'm like you with that.
And yes, it's something I got to work on for sure.
Because there's so much downtime in comedy, like where they tell you like get there. They'll be like, sometimes they lie to you and say the show starts at 5 and it starts at like 9.
I just want to point out the disinterest in Keith's face of the excuses and the
well, I don't care. Guess what? I don't care. I don't care.
It's
like,
not about it.
I'm not trying to appease him. I don't care. I'm
not interested in it's not really excuses. It's more like, why do you do that? Like it's just like, if you do it, I find it sort of fascinating why people.
Keith has stopped finding it fascinating a couple months ago. Maybe that's the look.
I don't care.
Right. They don't care because it's.
I'm protective of my Kyle.
Thank you, Karen.
You know what these people do sometimes? They lie to me. They say it's at 5 when it's really at 9. That doesn't happen to me. These lies
because you don't do stand up, do you?
Oh, that's why. That's why.
No, it's but it's stand up. No, but it's stand up. These are people who've never met you. Like they'll say the show time is right, Kyle. Like they'll say and then they're like, no, the buffet starts at 5. Like they're giving a buffet, and I'm like, I don't want your fucking buffet. Like I want to get here at 5 to 9 and eat my own food afterward.
Why don't you know what time the show starts? I bet the flyer says buffet at 5.
Because it's like if it's like a theater gig or a private gig or something, they don't always tell you. It's like you don't always have access to that. It's a booker gives you that information. They tell the booker, and you don't want to get in trouble with the booker, so you show up when the booker tells you to show up, because you don't want them to be told, Karen was late. So this
now
is
you don't know if your own podcast will be late.
Right.
Why are you being so ridiculous and argumentative?
I agree. She's 10 minutes late. It's fun. I think it's more.
The show goes.
I think it's more funny than anything. I don't think it's that. I honestly.
He makes it sound like I'm like 5 hours late.
Yeah, no, you're 5 minutes. You're 5 to 10 minutes late.
Tops, and the old 15 minutes tops. And
oh my God,
you are such a little pussy, because that is not what is happening. I am not that late.
15 minutes late.
That tops. I was late 15 minutes
for the podcast. She's never more than 15 minutes late.
Love you. You started this shit. You started with the wrong chick, because I'm going to tell you, I am never more than 15 minutes late. So if you really want to keep this argument going and it bothers you that much and you want all your listeners to know Kyle's a piece of shit, she's late all the time. Guess what? Kyle does a good show with Karen. I don't know why I'm talking about myself in third person. And we always have a great show. And that's the product, and that is the end product.
And if it makes Keith sweat balls talking to the guest, fuck him.
Why does it make you sweat balls?
Because he doesn't want to deal with the guests. I understand.
Okay,
I understand Keith's point of view, but this is not a situation where Kyle keeps us waiting for an hour. It's usually between 5 and 10 minutes.
Can I just jump in? And yes,
I totally instigator Kemda, you may jump in. Go on.
I start all the shit. I understand. And let me just.
You're a pot stirrer.
It's okay. And you know what? I'm joking. I really did get upset at him for a second, but it's all good. And I know for people who are punctual, I know that people like me annoy the shit out of them. And I am working on it. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I am working on it. I promise.
I am not.
And so we're all late. Well, maybe I can't speak for every late person, but I feel like we all hate ourselves a little bit because we're like this. So we're trying to change.
I am not a very punctual person. I cannot say that I'm always on time. I am also very trying. I know that I'm trying thing. I just want to quickly point out that it doesn't sound like Keith is mad at the lateness. He's mad at the
lying.
Yeah, sure. He's mad at
when I throw him under the bus. That's fine.
When you throw me under the bus and don't tell me, I guess that's thrown under the bus. But you could have lied.
And then I got to keep you in on the lie. Okay, yes. Fair.
Yes, because he can't. The next
time I lie to Karen, I'm going to tell you, and then you're going to be like, "Sorry, Karen, I'm You know,
But
I moved
but
to my
I don't
friend.
care. I honestly think for the people that we have on our show, because it's a bunch of moms who do a million things, that everybody's late all the time and people
It's
are
a
late.
favor.
I honestly say, I honestly think like, you know, when Kyle says like, yeah, I'm whatever late, I'm like, oh, good, I can get a coffee.
No, this is just to not miss the point. He just wants to be on the same team. Tell me
Yes.
how we're lying so that we don't look
So we get our
stupid once
story
we
straight.
start talking.
Right.
Because
Got
the
it.
rule is you can't lie unless you know the truth. So share the truth and then be as late as the truth is. And
That is
that's it.
beautiful.
You got
I
upset.
love
you.
that.
Thank
I
you.
was,
I feel like you should be a relationship coach.
I was thinking
You
you
just stay
should
put.
be a relationship counselor.
Who, Keith?
No, Hemda.
Oh, Kemda.
He's definitely not.
Keith will tear everyone apart. There'll be so many divorces, and
He'll be
Hemda
like,
should-
how many
I didn't know
times?
I didn't like you.
Right. What kind of secrets do you keep from each other?
Where do you hide?
Where do you hide things?
Yeah.
See, you got upset, but it's about love and how we are a team. So take advantage of that.
Okay.
Oh my
Now,
God.
I,
this is
I
gonna be
disagree,
great.
but I don't.
What do you disagree to? You
Well, I
already agreed to it. You just said I disagree.
Keith,
you don't
just-
even know what you're disagreeing to.
Keith, can you
want to
shut up?
talk? You want to
Can
talk
you
about
shut up,
summer? I'll
Keith?
tell you something that did bother me.
Ooh, oh no. This is
Ready?
suddenly it's gonna escalate.
I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be. I don't know. I think I went out to get. Oh, she'll come late, and then go. Can you go out and get me a ginger ale? I'm the producer. Anyways,
And you get paid good money. You get paid in personal training.
she goes. I didn't hide nothing. What am I gonna give you? So, here's the big one.
Okay.
I
I'm
go-
I
looking
want to
forward
hear
to
it.
it.
I
I'm
go to
like,
the store.
I'm taking notes now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go to the store to get her some food that she's not gonna eat, and I'll just throw away.
What'd you get?
And it's something you probably asked broccoli Rob. Who knows? So
That happened one time, by the way. everyone.
okay.
One
well,
time. He
now-
loves to pretend that it happens
Now
all the
tell
time.
me on the side that you included me in this lie so that I know what to. That's right. The dog's right. Getting that, you can smell it. So I come back. She talked to my landlord, who I hardly ever talk to, and said, "You need to redo Keith's bathtub."
When was that?
Now-
Oh, that was a while ago.
Now
That's an
I
old
have to
one.
come back and deal with that.
Well, I
Yeah,
said
and-
your bathroom, like he hasn't done anything, and he needs to do stuff for you, and it's your legal right. They're supposed to paint every 2 years. They're supposed to do this, and I saw him, and I thought, I'll let him know because
Well,
you won't.
here's the
Because you
question.
won't. Because you won't deal with your landlord about your tub that you don't give a fuck
you want-
about. Could it affect my rent? Could it affect our relationship? Who is
It
this?
shouldn't
person?
because legally that's what he has to do.
That's fun to deal with people.
That's-
legally.
I have to say, I'm with Keith on this
Of course.
because it's like, even though the legal stuff may be in favor of what you're saying, Kyle, people do illegal crap all the time, and
But can I
there may be.
Can I
Yeah.
ask how it came up? Because it could be that they were talking and the
Uh-huh.
landlord said like, oh, I haven't gone into the apartment. There hasn't been some fixing in a while. And Kyle might be like, yeah, actually the tub.
Well,
could
he
use
knocked
it."
on the door. I didn't like
Oh.
seek him out. Like
Okay.
he was asking. I don't know if he was looking for the rent or whatever. But I said, oh, by the way, if his bathroom, da 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 da. And then he said, he was like he knew he was wrong because he said, oh yeah, what? I think I have something. And he brings me this like half empty bottle of I don't know, some sort of
Mildew
like,
or something.
Some
That's
yeah,
It's
gross.
not
like
that.
mildew remover.
It's an old tub. It's
Yeah.
not dirt.
So he gave me that and like he was doing a favor and I just said thank you, and I left it. And then I told Keith, I said, I did talk to your landlord. Oh my God, my rent's gonna go up. I'm like, okay, if you want to live in filth, then you can, or we can have the person who is supposed to take care of this for you take care of it. But I haven't talked to him since then. So,
I think
Do
we
you
have
have
our
a-
poll.
Do you have a good landlord, Kyle?
um they're okay. I've been living there for oh my gosh, like 17 years.
Wow.
So
Do they
yeah.
take care of things?
They do, but I have a rent controlled apartment, so I have to ask. Like they don't, do
And
anything
when
on their
when you
own.
ask, they come.
They do. They put it off, but they do. Like I know the whole painting rule, and I'll say, "Hey, it's time." Oh, okay, we'll get. Da, da, da. So they make me wait a while, but they do get to it. So you have to ask. They're not going to do it for you.
You want me to
No.
demand anything from them?
No, because I do it.
Okay.
I speak up. So
Oh, I see. Oh, because Keith is not going to do it and he should.
And I was clear, by
I
the
mean,
way.
if he doesn't, I know now it's not really that important to him. So that's what I mean. Whatever. Like for me, I would want that fixed or taken care of, but it doesn't really matter to him. So it's not a big deal. It's not, you know.
Is that passive aggressive or is that for sure real?
No, it's like I
Okay.
know that. I
Like,
think the first
Well,
time
it's
that
not. Keith doesn't seem to want a clean bathroom.
he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. No. But that's okay. Like you know, we have.
Fine. He likes squalor. Okay, to each his own.
He wants to squat.
There's a rat in the bathroom. It's a pet.
Honestly, it wouldn't bug him. I
Right.
don't think.
So then I have to talk.
But being 10 minutes late is like we
The
we
end
all
of the
do have
world.
quirks. We all have quirks.
Hey, so your girlfriend said something about the tub. I'm like, yeah, how about that? Okay. So how about you keep not raising my rent and we just pretend that didn't happen. All right.
Right.
Good to not see you.
And you know,
Right.
did he raise your rent?
No.
So you're fine.
You can save that money and go to like a bath.
So many solutions in this room.
You would think it's so funny though. You would think like this could be the thing that got us into an argument. But to me, I thought it was the silly late thing that got us into an argument.
Right. I mean, this is it's funny. It's because it's just it's like literally what grates your nerves about somebody.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And I'm sure it's very entertaining for people to hear.
Yeah. I don't know who you talk to. Then how am I going to interact with them? It's very exciting stuff.
Kyle, is it surprising like where Keith is passive and where he's more energetic, let's call it?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I don't like everything we just talked about. I mean, we're fine. I'm not, I just want to make that clear. But I think it's funny because you guys will stick on points that aren't really that important. And it's like, well, no, but let's go back to this and the late thing. And I'm like, but this isn't really a thing because we've never really even had a real discussion about it. So that's just why it's funny. It's like, oh, this is where his passion lies in this particular sort of vague area that I don't really see as a big deal. But
And maybe I'm an asshole for bringing it up, but can we talk about Broccoli Rob? I feel like if I don't bring it up, it's
we totally can. I just, if that's the most interesting thing about me right now, then let's talk about it. Broccoli
Can I tell you
Rob.
the problem? It has been mentioned that Keith mentions very silly things that he's exploding about. And it's because we know he has such a nice relationship. He's not like this person is constantly really lying to me and not coming through on things. Like it's kind of nice that these are the problems.
Right. They're teeny.
They're what?
Teeny. They're teeny
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah. So, but let's talk about it because yes, they do explode on this show.
I don't know why they explode on this show. Like the Broccoli Rob, I
Can we
do
explain it
like
to
Broccoli
people
Rob.
before, just in case? So this is how I understand it, and I think this
Okay.
is how the audience understand it. There has been multiple times Broccoli Rob is sort of like a representation of
This is
food.
like a scandal. The Broccoli
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah. So there was one time you ordered the Broccoli Rob. It's in a nice restaurant, so it's a high priced item. Nobody touched it. Keith took it home, but he doesn't like Broccoli Rob anyway. There was, I think, twice on Broccoli Rob, but more times on, okay, I want tofu broccoli from the Chinese place. I don't touch it. It gets left in Keith's fridge. Hummus.
Do you want to take it home for the
carrots.
kids? No. Okay. And to be very clear, Kyle is extremely generous. There's no planet where I'm paying for more things than she does. It's just amazingly and shocking to me. Like, but you didn't want celery, carrots, and hummus and pine nuts.
I think if sometimes, okay, so the first time we ordered the Broccoli Rob, I'm trying to remember, like this was a while ago. I feel like it was like a couple years ago. And I think I just got stuffed with the rest of the food and I just was full and I didn't want it. And so it was it was a tragedy that we had to take it home. And I see that it's upset him greatly for many years.
Everything was years ago, by the way. I
and-
really
and-
hold on to shit, don't I?
And P.S.
If any of this was true, I'm a real piece of shit.
When Keith retells stories, some of the details are lost and some are embellished. And I feel like that is important to remember. So the tofu one I'll own because I ordered, oh man, what was it? I also ordered like some fried rice with it and the fried rice was so good and I'm digging in and I'm eating this fried rice, like delicious. And it was like perfect and tons of soy sauce and I love it. And then I open up the tofu and I was like, oh, this doesn't look very appetizing after just eating that. But so that was my fault. Like I was trying to go healthy when I was it was like period mode and I really just wanted like salty food. And so that
one. You don't take, because I think he's cool with that. Are you not a leftover person? Because I know some people who can't.
Oh no,
eat
I'm a leftover.
leftovers.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I bring leftovers home a lot.
So why did I eat tofu broccoli that night?
Because I didn't want it. I'm sorry, but was it Did you feel healthy? Was it good?
No, it's not healthy because you say
did it
the
go
word
through your
tofu.
tubes very well. I don't know.
That's not healthy.
Now, that Chinese food is all candy. Yeah.
It's I didn't want. After I ate the fried rice, I was like, I don't want this. So
you
I'll
just
own
get
it.
By the way, I understand this whole thing. It was like an impulse decision to get the tofu. It was an impulse decision not to eat the tofu, and it was an impulse decision to leave it in Keith's fridge.
I think I'm impulsive.
It's impulsive. Kyle is impulsive.
And that's totally cool. There seems to be a repetition in this impulse, right?
Yes, right. It's an impulse, but that's how impulses work, I guess. The impulse buys in stores, they keep getting me.
Kyle's like, this is what we're getting a fucking judge and jury for. Like,
I think you're fine.
I feel like
I am an angel from
scandal.
heaven from this fucking sleeveless asshole who's been ranting and raving for 16, 17 years on his show. Now the subject is me and my fucking broccoli Rob. Go do some push-ups in the corner and shut the fuck up. Be a little grateful.
I'm feeling very protective of Kyle. I'm noticing, which is, I guess, a good sign.
Let her fall because it's nothing.
Right.
Because these are well, no, it's just these aren't. Listen, I could see being the boyfriend and being annoyed, but honestly, in this scheme of things, this is good.
Right. If this is my biggest problem, let's not solve it.
Yes.
You know that saying.
You could.
This is your biggest problem. Fuck you. You know that saying.
That's
yes. I do know that saying. It's like what I say to my kids.
This is a sorry, like you want to keep harping on it. Like I'm sorry that I made you take home broccoli Rob and tofu on a few occasions, and every time your listeners would think I do this shit every day. And
even if you did it every day, it would be like it would be like wasteful. But
I'm not fucking Adam and Craig. Like, what the hell? Like, this is not the worst thing that I could be doing. Those are his two best friends, by the way.
Oh,
so.
She's acting like if she
Karen's like, what? What am
I know. It's not like she took a dump and left it in your fridge.
Which he did. He took a. If we're going to be Patty, one time, early in the relationship, he left a mess in his bathroom.
In my own bathroom.
He didn't.
Oh, I thought you said in the fridge. I was like, oh, did he have to
he
give a
really,
sample to the doctor? I was like suddenly worried about your health, Keith. I was like, well, he might have a colon problem.
That would be crazy if I opened the fridge and there was a nice little sample.
Wait, so he forgot to flush or something, or he
forgot to flush in my own home? So she called the landlord up and said, "I'll try to be on it."
I'm sorry, but I think that's more upsetting than the tofu.
It is.
Do you, when you and your husband eat, do you share food in a restaurant?
Yeah. I mean, we're not like annoying, like we're, it's like, oh, honey, what should we get? Now like we will, if we don't, unless like we try not to order the same exact thing. Right. And I've been known to eat off of other people's plates.
It's funny that you phrased it. We're not annoying. We're not like, honey, what should we eat? But then we plan not eating the same thing.
Right. I know. Well, it's not like it's not like there's some people who are like, you get the this and I'll get the this. Like it's more, I'm going to get the pasta. Oh, I was going to get that. And then it's like, oh, well, I can maximize my different tastes.
You're saying the same thing, right?
Yes.
Get to this, I'll get it. You are saying these are the
exactly the same thing. It's the presentation. It's the presentation.
We still think that you're a nice person who is not forcing your husband to order certain things in the restaurant.
No, I don't. For one thing, like there's no way I have that relationship with my husband. I can't force him to do anything.
Well, somehow you're defending this. I think it's sweet, and my point is, it's sad that I.
No, in the scheme of Yeah, you just haven't hit upon the things. You know what I mean? That's really the issue.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, obviously, he says this all the time, but Keith, what's the best thing about dating Kyle?
I love her. I think she's so smart. I think she's so funny. I think she's so fun to be around. She's an adventure in the best ways. And when I'm not with her, it's sad.
Aww.
And to go and see my.
That's why I leave you Broccoli Rob to think about me.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs to remind
That's it's like she's like a dog peeing in your house.
Yeah, all the gnats in my fridge are like, oh, there's my baby. You know, she's all around me. Fantastic.
I blame American portions, because if she got a normal portion of rice that time and a normal portion of tofu broccoli, things might have been different.
Yeah, she's
There's
new to
always
the
someone
planet,
else to
like we
blame.
said, and I love my alien girlfriend very
Thank
much.
you.
Absolutely, absolutely, baby. So download the podcast. Shut up, mommy's talking. And
can I just say on Monday, the 21st, I am doing an Instagram live with Irene Bremis, who's also a comic and a fitness pro. And we're basically just answering all your questions. We're going to give you like tips, especially for performers who have kind of crazy hours. Every time we do shows, we always have comics saying like, how do I eat healthier? I can't go to bed till 2 a.m. And so we're just going to give you some tips. And it's free. It's just Instagram live. And if you have specific questions, you can literally just let us know and we'll answer your question right there. So it's at Ocasio-Kyle and at Irene Bremis. And that's Monday, the 21st at 7 p.m.
All right. And the ads for Karen is her name as well as her website, KarenBergreen.com. And I love this new podcast, and congratulations to both of you. And
What a great idea.
By the way, we've talked more about
what?
Did I scream?
I don't know. There was a glitch somewhere. Sorry, what was that?
All right. Sorry. By the way, we talked more about parenting today than we do on the podcast.
So yeah, I don't think we
we don't really talk about the parenting so much on the podcast. I'm sorry that I screamed in your ear.
But I didn't
love it.
I didn't even notice. Let me mention this, of course. This weekend is Silent Trailers. When's that, Hemda?
That's on Saturday, June 19th. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern, but I would get there a few minutes before because we're on there and the guests are on there and they are reading the chat until the game starts. Also, we have a few things in play where we're trying to trip up the guests who are cheating by giving them the wrong movie. It's going to be so much fun. And there's also backstage passes. Those will only be available until the day before. So if you're going to get that, get it now.
It's such a good show too.
Casey
So
James
fun.
Salango, Liz Mealy, Zara Norback, Shane Moss, Maddie Smith, KeithandTheGirl.com/tickets. Make sure you get your stuff right now, okay? And of course, the store, KeithandTheGirl.com/store. We have things there. We also have KeithandTheGirl.com/gear, GEAR, and you're going to see these t-shirts that Newsy designed, t-shirts, mugs, leggings, everything. And it's all these different things throughout the history of Keith and the Girl that you can get all together or you can get separately. I'm not really sure how to describe it if it's confusing. Take a look, KeithandTheGirl.com/gear, page rates. Oh my, I love these designs. Got a couple shirts and a hoodie, and I'll be directing anyone who wants to buy me gifts to this site. So much cool stuff to choose from. Oh, and I'm pretty sure my next tattoo will be the pothead design.
I love the pothead design so much.
It's great. I love it. So
I
take a look.
wish our listeners, Karen, would get tattoos of what? Diapers, teenagers need. Imagine.
I think they should get a tattoo of like Broccoli Rob.
Yes.
Please, anyone that gets a tattoo of Broccoli Rob, I will train you for free.
I think this show.
Oh God, maybe I won't.
And your that's actually a great idea. This show and your interactions about Broccoli Rob has brought the attention to some people about what Broccoli Rob actually is.
Yes.
People haven't heard of this. They thought we were saying broccoli raw.
Oh.
Of course, you would order
That sounds very
and leave.
gassy. That sounds very gassy.
It
I would
sounds
leave
less delicious.
All right, so check out the show, and we'll talk to you soon.